Welcome to Gifted Endorsement Identification and Assessment. Today's topic is creativity, one of the four areas in which data is collected to determine a student's eligibility status. A qualifying score is 90th percentile or above. At this time, we're going to delve into what is creativity. Please view this image, and I'm going to give you some time to formulate your thoughts, brainstorm feelings, images, and just overall thoughts that you visually see in the ink blot. And then after a few moments, we will try to transfer those into words. Try to create an image or scene in your mind as I read these words. Try to draw a picture of the image generated and describe the feeling evoked as you construct these images. Original, overactive, flexible, innovative, beautiful, unique, elaborative, unstructured, unusual, high energy, builder, discovery, imaginative, idealistic, fluent, playful, brainstorms, fluent, humorous, invent. Take just a few more seconds to finalize your thoughts. Now that you've completed that activity, how would you define creativity? So using what you just did and some of the thoughts that you formulated, please take out your graphic organizer and record a working definition of creativity. Now that we've delved into creativity a little, let's look at how APS uses creativity assessments. So in APS, we use the Torrance test of creative thinking. And so that window is now open. And so hopefully you have contacted your school's eligibility team to see how you can help out. So at this time, let's please pause and view the administration video for TTCT. It's approximately 18 minutes, but you may want to take out your paper and jot down some notes if you have not already seen this with your faculty. Now that we've looked at how to give the test, let's look at what happens when the scores come back. So after the tests are back, usually in early winter, the gifted point of contact at your school will receive all of the individual score reports and the data reports. So creative abilities measured by the TTCT include fluency, or the number of ideas generated, originality, which is statistically, infrequent ideas, elaboration, details, abstractness of titles, simply naming, adding descriptors and abstract ideas, resistance to premature closure, that will be the Gestalt psychology, sometimes referred to as the law of simplicity, or openness, and the checklist for creative strengths, which include emotional expressiveness, storytelling articulateness, movement or action, expressiveness of titles, synthesis of figures, unusual visualization, internal visualization, extending or breaking boundaries, humor, richness of imagery, colorfulness of imagery, and fantasy. Again, creativity is one of the four areas assessed, and here are some of the instrument options. So for all students in the first look category, the TTCT is administered in grades K through 12 to students who qualify for initial gifted testing or first look. We use the Torrance test of creative thinking, aka the TTCT. For second look opportunities, you may use a product. Students in grades K through 5 who qualify for a second look will be given an approved academic product by a classroom teacher. Similarly, performance may be used. Students in grades 6 through 12 are encouraged to enter an academic competition. As stated before, the building will receive individual student reports. And all of the data is important, but if you will focus on letter C, which is the creativity index, you will find 2 percentiles. So use age or grade NPR, whichever benefits the student. So that means you want to go with the highest number. And remember, in order for a student to meet the criterion in the area of creativity, they must score a 90th percentile or higher. So where would that go on the eligibility report? So for the sake of learning, we are using the hard copy eligibility report. So as you did in the previous 2 weeks with mental ability and achievement, in the third block is creativity. So if you were to zoom in, you would note that the Torrance test of creative thinking is checked, and the student's higher score from the previous slide was a 78. So you notice that no is indicated because the student did not meet criteria for creativity with that score. So again, just for learning purposes, we're using the hard copy eligibility report, but all data is now accurately reported into SLDS. So let's pause again. Given the new information that you've obtained, how would you define creativity? So please take out your graphic organizer or your notes again and update how you feel your definition of creativity is evolving. Okay, let's continue. Here's an article that may be of interest, so we're asking you to skim the article and reflect on whether or not you believe that we can still trust creativity tests to aid in identification of gifted and talented students. The article is about 13 pages, and all you have to do is skim it and get the main idea so that you could add to your notes. Okay, so again, we ask you to take out your notes and update it based on anything that you've ascertained from the reading or any questions that you may have. And so that brings us to the end of our session. So if you still need clarification or have questions, please feel free to contact your instructor. At this time, we will ask you to complete the exit ticket. And we will also like to remind you that midterms are coming up, so you should be reviewing and studying. Remember, the format is short answer, and it will be given in our next face-to-face class. Likewise, TAB's presentation should be prepared and rehearsed, and they will also be presented in our next face-to-face class. Thank you, and have a good rest of your week.